Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by Tavor. I am your host, Tom Downey. We'll start things at this off as we almost always do. Little Cowboys rumors roundup. First off, could there be an Amari Cooper trade? I'll give this one 2 stars. A bunch of different outlets are talking about it. I think for obvious reasons. Look, the Raiders may or may not be, I kind of think that they are, shopping Amari Cooper, or at least are open to trading him away. And the Cowboys, because we all know what their receiving core looks like, well, they are a logical destination for a trade. With that said, I'm only going to put it at 2 stars for a couple of different reasons. I do think it makes some sense. I'm actually okay with this particular trade, but the Raiders want a first rounder. Absolutely not. That doesn't make any sense for the Cowboys to do that. That's way too much right now for Cooper, because the Raiders aren't going to get that for Amari Cooper right now. First off, his value, I don't know if it's ever been lower. He wasn't that good last year. Hasn't been very good this season. Oh, by the way, y'all hate Dez Bryant for his drops? Guess who drops a lot of passes? Amari Cooper. Now, with that in mind, we'll get to my trade proposal later on in the show. I do want to show you what Bleacher Report suggested, by the way. They said Amari Cooper for a second and Randy Gregory. Why the hell would the Cowboys do that? Absolutely not. So with that one in mind, what would you guys trade for Amari Cooper? Let me know in the comments section. I am certainly not giving up a day 2 pick and a talented young pass rusher in Randy Gregory, but you can talk me into maybe one day 2 pick. I'll get to my exact pick later on in the show. All right, folks, I am hosting an NFL weekly pick'em on BetDSI, free to play. If you come in first place, I'll give you $25. Shout out to Brett Scott, one of the Cowboys Report producers, who actually came in first place this week. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney if you guys want to get the link to sign up for free. And hey, again, first place, $25. All right, more trade rumors. How about a Patrick Peterson trade? I'll give this 1 star. I don't think it's going to happen. From that perspective, it's almost fake news, but I'll give it the 1 star because, A, how great would this be, right? I'll let myself get a little bit excited about Patrick Peterson because I love the dude. I think he's one of the best, if not the best cornerback in the NFL. I'd be down for it. I just don't think the Cardinals are actually going to move him because he's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Yes, they're rebuilding. I don't think that they should trade away Peterson though anytime soon. But overall, I absolutely love that guy. All right, next up. Could this be Cole Beasley's last year with the Dallas Cowboys? I'll give it 2 stars. Shout out to 24/7 Sports' Patrick Walker, who pointed this out before Beasley went on Twitter and said he wants to be among the highest paid slot receivers in the NFL. Now, remember that, because it does depend on how you're defining slot receiver and among highest paid. My number one fear is that Beasley wants Jarvis Landry money. He ain't getting that. But even if he wants Doug Baldwin, Larry Fitzgerald, or Randall Cobb money, I don't know if he's worth $10 million a year. If you can get him to sign an Albert Wilson deal, 3 years, 24 or so, I'm down with that. But I want to know from you guys, as good as he is, and as the really only reliable Cowboys receiver right now, is Cole Beasley worth more than $8 million a year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Look, I lean more towards not really. You can talk me into maybe $9 million. I love Cole Beasley, but $8 million per year is a lot to pay for a slot receiver as good as Cole Beasley is. What's also good are these Mizzen and Main shirts. Get one of your own. Comfortable.af is the website. Trust me, folks, you will not find a more comfortable shirt, dress or otherwise, than a Mizzen and Main shirt. All right, I'm sure you guys saw this one out there on Twitter and on the Blog Boys sites. Jason Garrett, what, could he have an extension here? I'm going to give it fake news because I just can't rectify this in my own mind. I can't. How the hell could you even consider it? And I don't think the Cowboys are. There was the report from Jeff Sullivan, who writes for the Cowboys website, that says an extension could be coming soon. Jerry Jones today in his radio interview said he didn't know where Jeff was getting that information from, and he kind of debunked it. He also kind of said that he hadn't talked about it with anybody. Though this quote, we'll leave this up for a little bit because it is a long quote from Jerry Jones, indicates to me that he hasn't even considered it. Not that he doesn't really deny it and say, no, we're not going to do it, because I don't think he wants to say that about his head coach. He's not going to criticize Jason Garrett right now. This is more of a, I haven't talked about it with anyone, implied because I haven't actually considered it. I thought about giving it 1 star, but this just makes so little sense to me, I can't even put a star on it. There's no way you can justify an extension for Jason Garrett. If he does somehow get extended, we'll come in with a breaking news show, and we'll all be angry together because, as I'm sure many of you still do, I think some of you still want Jason Garrett fired. I certainly don't want him extended right now when the Cowboys are sitting there in classic Jason Garrett form at 3-3. Folks, today's show is brought to you by Tavor. You guys like beer, right? Because who doesn't like beer? Then you're going to love Tavor. Craft beers from all over the country. They got sour beers that I'm a big fan of right now on Tavor. Sign up is free. You'll get alerted each time they have a new beer out. And then use promo code ChatSports for $10 off your first delivery. They'll send you beer right to your house. Guys, go check out Tavor at Tavor.com. All right, some injury notes here for our last two rumors. Is Tavon Austin going to miss some time? Or Tavon Austin, excuse me. 4 stars on this one, and kind of classic Jerry Jones says, oh, well, I don't really know what's going to happen with Austin, and then says, oh, yeah, he's actually going to miss a lot of time. And the injury's been compared here from the Cowboys to Morris Claiborne. And remember when he had this groin injury, he missed 9 games. I don't like that. Now, Austin brings you speed, and I think actually one of his biggest areas of help comes in the return game. I would assume that Cole Beasley is going to be your guy back there going forward, although maybe you had the discussion of do we want to jeopardize Beasley getting hurt too, and he's the only receiver that we have that can consistently produce on this roster. And if that's the case, and you want someone who can maybe bring you a little bit more pure speed at the punt return duties, I think it's the two guys I just showed you. Watch out for Jordan Lewis, who I like quite a bit, and I want on the field more anyway. And Deontay Thompson is already on kick returns and can fly. So let me know who you guys want to handle punt return duties in the comments section. All right, next up, more injury notes here. DeMarcus Lawrence, is he okay? I'll give it 3 stars. He is okay, but only like kind of, because he is dealing with a torn labrum. So he can play through it, and from that perspective, he's fine. But he does have a torn labrum, which cannot be fun for him. Now, he's going to keep playing through the injury. He had 24 snaps last week. Probably could have played a little bit more had the Cowboys needed him to. Actually would have played more, but there was no point because it was a blowout win. So Tank's going to be okay, but it is something the Cowboys will have to manage throughout the year. He's going to play each week unless it gets significantly worse, which I don't foresee happening. All right, folks, we are trying to get to 5K subscribers on our Cowboys Report YouTube channel. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All of our great coverage in one spot, plus some exclusive stuff only available on that YouTube channel.